Mic check, 1 2 1 2, mic check 1 2 1 2. Welcome to the G-Lew Show After Hours Live Friday Night Edition.
A minute, but you're constantly up on my mind. And album posted in the front about to hit your line. Hoping you pick up so we can chop it up. The way you all went down was kind of fucked up. You could have came to me and told me what was up, but you chose to live in silence till we broke it up. And now I'm in the cold wishing you was up, so I can hear your voice, my love.
Thinking about you all the time, can't seem to get you up out my mind. Hoping you well and you're doing fine. Maybe we can get together, spend some time.
What up, everyone? Welcome to Friday Night Live Interviews. I am G-Lew. Tonight we got a special guest. Miss Westcoast is in the building. She hasn't pulled up yet. We're waiting on Miss Westcoast to get here. But what up to everyone? Happy Friday. Hope everyone had a great week. Had a blessed Friday. Much love and respect to everyone in the chat. Let me see who's in the chat tonight. Let me see. Shout out first and foremost to my producer, DD Hairston. What up, DD? Thank you for making it all happen. Shout out to Love Grace, my sis, Monica. Shout out to Elia Delgado in the Biggity Bay. What up, Elia? Kiss my my grandbaby for me, please. Shout out to Yudi. Hope you feel better, Yudi. Know you've been under the weather. Hope you feel better. Shout out to Jessica. Thank God it's Friday. What up, Jessica? Shout out to Keisha. What up, Keisha? And everybody out there in the chat. We just kicking it tonight. It's a Friday night. So, just kick back. Have fun while we're waiting on our guests. While we're waiting on our guests, let me go to a commercial break. We'll be back.
And take a look at this. Skyfox over the 5 in East LA at this hour, where it is packed with cars slowly moving in the northbound direction. Near the Grapevine, there's major gridlock at this hour over a crash involving a big rig that triggered a 30-mile backup that extends past Cascade.
2 men dead in the parking lot. The third man was rushed to the hospital in unknown condition. Distraught family members gathering at the scene. Detectives say there was a Thanksgiving party in one of the warehouses last night. Some kind of confrontation happened. Shots were fired. Authorities say a possible suspect has been detained.
We are back. I'm still waiting on my guests to come up, people. So give me 1 minute, please. I don't mean to flood you with my music, but waiting on our guests to come up. What up to everyone in the chat? Shout out to the homie Paco. What up, Paco? Big homie Spanks in the building. Shout out to Pearl. What up, Mama Pearl? Who else is here? The homie Eastside Paramount, my brother from another, Elia Delgado. What up, Octavia? What up, Octavia? The homie Shadow. What up, my boy? And who else? Again, shout out to Sevens Music. What up, homie? And my producer DD, Keisha, Yudi, everyone else in the chat kicking it tonight. It's Friday night. Waiting on my guests to come up, Miss Westcoast. She should be here in a minute, so just kick back, okay? It's gonna be all.
Hi, it's Kevin Slow Jammer James. You are listening to the G-Lew Show After Hours Live, Oldies Rule Forever Sundays, hosted by G-Lew and Naylove. Every Sunday night, 9:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on YouTube.
Yeah. Be back with OG. Oldies Rule Forever. 3.
the hood to the stage, to the labels we made. From the wood to the J's, to the shootouts to the fades. From the valley to LA, to the cemeteries we laid. It's just the ways of the world that we live in. You either gave or you give in. You either slide or you slid in. What's the mission or the vision? You can see the way. Like Zap said, we gon' be alright or be okay. Anyway, just gotta tell you how I feel. Living in a world of fake shit where ain't nobody real. Yo, what's the deal? Would you still feel alive if they take your freedom from you and leave your loved ones to cry? Even though we try, it's like a struggle to survive. Just like Pac used to say, homie, we living just to die. Money comes and goes, even friends turn to foes. And that girl you thought was solid, homie, usually is a hoe. This is how I know, because I seen it all and done it. Lost money and won it, ran game in abundance. Now I'm flipping them hundreds, trying to keep from going under. Cause the weight of the world has got my hustle up and I can't let it fumble. Sometimes I wonder if the world is a ghetto, while I'm chilling thinking about my past and why I never let it go. It's just the flow, the way I go when I be flowing, man. Oldies rule forever, so forever I'll be going in. So I show it like I know it then. Even though it's album number 21, I'm still flowing like it's 10. It's a win-win, so I get in where I fit in. Relax and roll me something up nice and crack this bottle of hen. It's a Sunday, so it's made for these roll-eyes. While I'm zipping in my low-low and I'm chilling with some cholas. G-Lew, I'm like the truth, living a lie. Cause it's 2022, I never thought I'd make it alive. But I did, so I'm here for the vibe. It's Oldies Rule Forever Part 3, let's take a ride. Yeah, Oldies Rule Forever Part 3, G-Lew. Man. Okay. We are back. And I think we got it now. People, I think we got it. Hold on. Without any further ado, let me bring on my special guest. Hold on. Let me see. Let me get a clear view. Okay. Now, without any further ado, let me bring on my special guest, Miss Westcoast.
What's good, Gigi? How we doing, fam?
What's popping? How you doing?
Aquí, a couple technical difficulties, but we worked it out. I think it's the Mercury retrograde or something.
It's all good. Long as you're here now. People, we
absolutely
have Miss Westcoast.
What's good, G? Thank you so much for having me, G. I appreciate you.
Yes, it's an honor to have you. First and foremost, let's get familiar with you. Why don't you tell the people who Miss Westcoast is? I mean, I told them we got Miss Westcoast, but you can only introduce yourself only the way you know how. So tell the people who Miss Westcoast is.
Well, Miss Westcoast is old school. Miss Westcoast is respect. Miss Westcoast is class. Miss Westcoast is style. Miss Westcoast is here for the people, from the people, of the people.
That's right. And how, like, that's a big name to have and hold on your shoulders, Miss Westcoast. Like, how did you get that name, and what's up with the name Miss Westcoast?
Well, Miss Westcoast comes from my roots, G. I come from the cannabis culture. That's actually where I started from. So I got the name from work. I got the name from work, West Coasting and, doing what we do in that type of an industry. And from there, it just kind of evolved,
Right. Dope. That's why I'm like, she always blazing up. I see you in all your pics and videos. Like, I'm like, damn, okay. So that explains it right there. That's what
yes.
You got.
That's what it was. It was the cannabis culture, and so I really love it. It's really a game changer, both recreational and medical. I wish that the stigma would be gone. Where it's like half-assed, where it's kind of okay to be able to smoke it, on a state level, but not on a federal level. So it's like a little catch right there. So hopefully that'll be taken care of pretty soon.
Right. That's dope. And I'm glad we got into that. I want to touch on that a little bit more. But speaking on the cannabis culture, like, how do you feel that where it is now, how it has though evolved, and especially in California, like you said, it's a thing with the laws and how they break it down. So it makes it hard, I'm sure, for other states and to get it going. Like, I know some states it's not legal. So they have like the CBD, the little fake shit. So it's like, how do you feel though, as a whole, how it has evolved though, and where it is now?
Well, I mean, I feel like it's still work in progress. You know what I mean? It's still work in progress. I feel like it was done in a way so that the big wigs, the Johns and the rich kids are the ones that got the best of the bread. And a lot of the people that actually paved the way were the ones that got left behind. A lot of the actual pioneers in the cannabis industry were not given their dues as they were, because they're the ones that actually were supposed to be able to make it in this industry, and it seems like the wrong people have been able to profit from it. So it just makes it more how can I say, more for the black market to always flourish.
Right. Speaking on the black market, like, how do you feel too? Like, I asked you how it has evolved, but how do you feel, like you said, as far as black market and who profits and who doesn't? Because obviously the government, state, whoever has profited and made this legal and all this, but you got homies still locked up or has been locked up or got records, felonies for weed. You know what I'm saying? Not dope, like weed, and these things of that nature. And a second part to that, speaking on black market, how do you think the good, the bad, far as how things have transitioned into the marketplace opposed to street dudes on the street who get their money, and how can they profit from this or get involved in the industry, like when they probably don't know how or may have records and all that?
Well, I mean, there's a way. I mean, there's absolutely a way for you guys to clean up your records. I know that it's a little bit more difficult when you have that thing, that mark on you, but I know there's people that have records and they have cannabis license and they're able to operate, owner and operate and stuff.
Right.
So there's ways to go about it. You just got to do your homework. It's a lot of money. That's for damn sure. It's going to cost you a lot of money. As thing with the black market, that shit's always going to flourish. I think it's better prices, better product at all times. There's a lot of legal white labels that still do backdoor, deals, So it's always gonna be the thing that fills the people's pockets, and it's because that's the way it's made it. That's the way the government made it. If they would make it legal all the way across, there wouldn't be so much of this controversy. All this taxing over and over. It's like 2-3 taxes on one simple product, and it's just not right,
Let's talk about that, because you are in the field, the industry of cannabis. Like, let the people know how that works too, as far as when you are legal and doing it legitly, and like you said, taxes. Because some people may think, people are just doing it and killing it, and it's all this and that. But like you said, they don't know about that part of it and that side of it, opposed to maybe street dealer who doesn't have to go through all that.
I mean, you got to know the product. You have to know the product. I know that in the let's say the white labels, it's not always just one person. You know what I'm saying? It's not just one person in that company. There's always a lot of people, investors and whatnot. And then there's always a face, and then there's a lot of the money in the background. You know what I mean? And so that's why they're able to stay afloat in this way, because it's not just one person. Whereas opposed to in the black market, you might have some people click up and link together and try to work as a team. But for the most part, everybody's an entrepreneur. Everybody's out there for the same fucking reason, like everybody's out there, on their own grind, making their own lane, trying to pay their bills, trying to, stay above sea level, G.
Right.
Yeah.
So where do you see it going from here? Do you see it? Because I know it's a lot of laws every year, changes, propositions, people doing this and that and trying to make it happen. Where do you see it going? And where do you see it at right now?
I mean, right now, I really don't see much change, because who's able to fill their pockets the most? So as long as they stay comfortable, I don't think they're going to change much. We got to get more involved. We need to have more of our people in these actual seats in the Senate, in the councils and stuff like that, because even all that is outdated. You have these people in these Senates and in the Congress that have been there for fucking 20, 30 plus years. Right. They don't even know what's up with life anymore. Do you know what I mean? They have no connection with what's going on in the modern day. So how are they allowed to make these decisions for us now? How are they allowed to have these long ass terms that we pay for when they can't even relate to us anymore? That's ridiculous to me.
That's a fact. And I Miss Westcoast, I'm glad you touched on that, because look, like you said, the people in Congress and all that, they get to be there like forever. And like you said, they're out of touch with what's going on. I think it should be terms just like presidency, right? But you have these people that stay in there, they've been in there 50 years and they're stuck in their ways. You know what I mean? So
yeah, they're right there in diapers. You know what I mean? It's just like, no, move on and let somebody, that can actually do something for us take that seat.
How do you think that changes? Like, I don't even mean to get all political, but Do you?
Yeah, that's not politics and religion, right? It's all taboo.
Religion, I try to stay away from. You know what I mean? Because it always goes crazy, right? But how do you think that changes? Do you think it just takes for them to die off? Because even if they die off, look, you got like people who can just put them there, like the president can just say, hey, I want to put this person in that seat, and then they're there. So how do you see that changing in the future? Do you see it ever changing? Maybe while we're not here, but do you see it ever changing like that?
I think it's like, what's the term? Rome wasn't built in a day. And I feel like those changes aren't going to happen like, maybe how you said, maybe not in our time, but they are going to happen at our level. They have to start at our level. They're not going to start at the top because nobody at the top wants changes. You know what I mean? No, they're cool where they're at. Right. So the change has to start with us. We have to actually get together. We actually have to make some laws. We actually have to go to these meetings that are even in our own cities, Oh, I don't like why our city's spending our money. Well, then go to the meetings in your own city, start there. They say voting doesn't matter because they're rigged, but how do you know if we don't all go? There's more of us than there is of them. Do you know what I'm saying? Like once we all put our heads together, the conquer and divide has always been the government's mentality. Right. So if they keep us always at each other fighting for whatever stupid ass reason and we get caught up in that agenda, then we're losing focus on the monster at hand of what we really have to combat right here together.
Damn, Miss Westcoast, I didn't know. I wasn't expecting you to like, get deep on me tonight and kick some knowledge, but like I'm loving this though. Real talk. Real talk.
Thank you.
Speaking on the voting, I'm glad because this is what I was going to ask you too, but you got to it before me. Speaking on like voting, what do you think about that? Because a lot of our people, I mean, not all, a lot of people vote, but some don't think it changes anything. It doesn't have an effect on anything. And even what we just spoke about Congress, even to the weed laws, are there anything that people can know that they can go vote for that is going to count? Like, I'm not talking about presidency, like you said, local shit and things that can change, like what we're talking about.
I feel like all of us are like drops of water in the bucket. And if it's just one drop, you might not notice a difference. But if we all put our drop in the bucket, we can overfill that bitch. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, you might feel like maybe your one vote might not matter, but it does. If we all get together, it's not just going to be one vote anymore. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right. Power of numbers.
Power of numbers.
Part in your community.
Yes.
Well,
unity.
Yeah. And what do you think, like, even when we vote, like, because look, I'm gonna tell you this too. I mean, I'm more aware now, but even when I started to vote, like we go in there and vote sometimes. I mean, say like when the election is, I know there's several different voting times for different stuff, but people are not aware of that, educated, right? Even like me,
right?
You go vote, even say like when you go to vote for election time, all most people know is who, okay, they're voting for, say the president, then maybe the senator, and then they have a whole bunch of other shit. People don't even know what they're voting for. They're just gonna vote Democrat or Republican or whatever. So how do we get, because those are probably important votes that affect you personally, right? But we don't know that. So how does one go about knowing about these things?
I mean, there's ballots, there's websites. I get my ballot in the mail, where it comes with all the different what are they called, propositions. With all the different propositions, take the time. Knowledge is fucking power, people. Like, knowledge is truly power, people. Take the time to educate yourselves on anything and everything that you care, have a worry about. Do you know what I mean? So what's the point of you bitching and complaining if you don't really know what the fuck's going on? So if you're gonna go vote, like, really know what the hell you're voting about. Go over there, take the time, read the ballot, and go vote. If you do or you don't, I mean, it doesn't, I'm still gonna eat, I'm still gonna go to sleep every day. Right. But if we really want change, do you know what I'm saying? Be the fucking change. It starts in our homes.
Right. And I'm one that always thinks, because like a lot of people argue, and it's a lot of arguments, and about political stuff, all that shit, right? What people feel, what they don't, they vote, whether they don't, what matters. But I'm just always one to think, okay, if you don't vote, I don't think you have a right to argue either. Just stay out. Right? The main people that don't vote, they got the biggest argument, right? And that's that's right. But there's nothing to argue about if you don't even vote. I do feel that, you know what I mean? So it's like,
You know,
about
I
that?
agree with you 100%. You know, it's like I heard this comment one time. Like I'm involved with a lot of charities, Habitat of Humanity, Polly's Projects, Local Hearts Foundations. Like wherever people are trying to give back, I'll find a way to wiggle my way in there and try to help out as well. You know, and so I heard somebody say like, "But how do you know that everything they get, they're gonna give it back?" I'm like, that's on them and God. Everybody that's contributing is doing their part with the great intention. Do you know what I mean? I don't think these people are going to go out of their way to not complete the task at hand. You know what I'm saying? So you you just gotta have the best intentions and do your work, do your part. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing. Do your part.
Right, right, right. Yeah, I think it always starts with you, like you first. Like even before we point the finger, look at yourself and see what you can do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always the ones that aren't contributing, always the ones that aren't on the field, always the ones that aren't sacrificing, the ones that have the most shit to talk.
Right, 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 right. Wow.
Pardon my French.
No, speak your mind. Speak your mind. Hey,
Gracias.
yeah. What up, everyone in the chat? Everyone showing you love and respect in the chat. What up, everyone in the chat?
I can't see the chat. I wonder how I could do that.
I don't know, but you can look back at it later. But everyone's showing you love.
Muchas gracias.
Yeah. So okay, we got all political and went deep. When we started off with the cannabis thing, because Miss Westcoast is in the cannabis field. How long have you been? I don't know if you said it earlier, but how long have you been in the cannabis business?
Oh my God, it's been in my lungs and in my blood for a minute, but like, but actual like business mentality. I want to say it's been a good off and on, maybe a good 12-13 years. Steady about the last 4 or 5, and then recently it's kind of played into just entertainment. I'm like I'm in the entertainment business now, so I'm doing a lot of modeling and hostings and movies and music videos and stuff, and I'm really feeling that kind of stuff. Good.
That's right. You know what? At first, I don't know why I thought you were like a rapper, right? So I'm like, where's the videos at? Then I'm realizing, you just do your thing. You know what I mean? But you look like you could be a rapper, and that name. Have you ever rapped or did anything musically?
Yeah, I do it every day in the shower. The acoustics in there are real killer. Nobody else can hear me, and I think I sound great, so it'll work. No, I leave that to the professionals. But
you never had the urge. You never played around with it or anything.
No, not really. I would be more like Malibu's Most Wanted. Traffic, looking for my chapstick. Type of that old school type of little rhymes and stuff. It's not really in me, but I appreciate it. Maybe I should give it a shot, huh?
You know what? I respect you though for keeping it real. Like that ain't my thing. Some people just do it anyway. Like just because I could do it. You know what I mean? But I think I have it in you. But I respect that. But she's not a rapper, but she does a whole lot. Like you do a lot. Like besides the cannabis, you model. Like tell us about a lot of the things that you do. Thank you, Pearl.
Thank you. Okay, so it's crazy because how it happened was I was doing a lot of the underground vending on the 420, and I was doing a lot of like strip clubs and things like that. During COVID, a lot of stuff was shut down, so people were scared to go out there, but there was still this market,
Right.
And so that's kind of where I came up. So there was shout out to Nationwide events. Yes, shout out to Nationwide events right there.
I'm gonna see you there.
Yes, and that's going to be the event going on. Back in the day, I want to give a shout out to NW right there. It's a huge ass event going on. It's going to be happening May 27th. No, April 27th. My bad. April 27th. It's this month. I don't want you guys to miss out on that. Get your tickets. Shout out to him because he actually is the one that got me started into this lane, because he invited me to go vend at one of his events. And it just so happened that they weren't allowing selling of cannabis there. So he's like, hey, you're not able to do this. And I'm like, all right, don't worry about it, G, another day. But he's like, I still want you to come out and do your thing. Just come out, do your thing. I'll take care of you anyways, and I got you. So that's actually where it started, because from that exposure, from him going to that event of his, is where more people started getting me as a host, as a model, as a promoter for their events. And I already had the podcast, so I had that exposure and that connection. And I did a podcast because I wanted to bring light to all the entrepreneurs that were in that were in the dark, that were not getting their flowers, but they're really good ass people. They have good product. They got good merchandise. They got a good hustle. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to give them a platform so that they could shine. And that's actually where the West Coast Wednesdays IG Live Sin Sesh started with me.
Damn, that's what's up. We're gonna talk about this podcast you got too. But before we do that, let's speak on the big event coming up, the Back in the Day, which you're gonna be a part of. That's in 2 weeks, people. 2 weeks. In Adelanto, right? And
yes.
Yeah, that's in 2 weeks. So tell us what you're gonna be doing, because I'm gonna have to holler at you too and get that pack from you, girl. But tell us what you're gonna be doing at the Back in the Day event.
Well, we are definitely going to be promoting the shit out of it. We got a lot of tickets. It's going to be Jenny 69. We're going to have Little Blackie right there. It's going to be Rolls Royce. Cici Valencia is going to be there. Cici Mamacita is going to be there. I believe Concrete Live is going to be also the host as well. There's going to be a lot of influencers, a lot of photo ops, a lot of vendors. It's just going to be a great day. You're going to be there, G. I'm going to be there.
Lefty Gunplay. Who else? It's a lot of people that's gonna be there.
It's a lot of people. It's an action-packed whole day out there, and it's really great. It's out in Adelanto. Make sure you guys go out there and get your tickets. Shout out to Nationwide and the whole team. They really do the damn thing. Attorney Rosenberg as well. He's on that team as well. So just shout out to all of them. And we're just part of the promotion team. I go out there. I make sure everybody's comfortable. Bring in more guests. We're gonna be doing some ticket giveaways this week coming up as well. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Just try to make sure that the people that are supposed to be there are there, G, and the people that are there have a good time.
Right. I agree. And I had N-Dub on here a couple weeks ago, right? And I told him, man, and the big homie Joe, but I told him I think you're gonna change the game with this event right here. This is a big event, right? All the hottest, far as people in the area, in the LA area, is gonna be there. And then you got the class Rolls Royce and others I can't think of, but I told him, man, this is going to be big. I think he's going to change the game with this one. You know what I mean? For future events. So shout out to Nationwide.
Yeah, shout out to Nationwide, because the combination of all the music genres right there, it's good. Seven's Music, Hellified Records, I believe he was in here earlier on the chat. I heard you give him a shout out when I was trying to come in. Him and I did an event a couple months back, and we kind of did the same thing with an infusion of rap and Spanish and all that, corridos, a little bit of everything, and it's really something else. So I'm really happy that because N-Dub has a big platform to be able to make this what it should be, to be able to make that infusion of all this music genres, a success.
That's a fact. And I think he's going to do it. Like I said, he's going to change the game with this one. He's going to blow up. He's already doing his thing, but I think after this one, it's going to be big. Shout out to N-Dub and everyone at Nationwide. Hey, who are you personally looking forward to seeing at the Back in the Day show?
I am happy to see, I want to see Rolls Royce. I definitely want to see Rolls Royce. I want to see Jenny 69. I like her. I met her. Actually, I worked with her on a music video in the past, and I kind of just knew of her through her videos and social media. But to actually meet this lady, she's really awesome. She's really a down to earth woman, and she's a real one. And I just have mad respect for her. So I'm excited to see her as well. So shout out to Jenny 69 as well.
Right. Shout out to Jenny 69. I want to see her too. I just want to see her a lot, perform and see her do her thing, because like you said,
she's fire.
She's had a lot.
She's gorgeous.
But she's a star. You can't deny that Jenny 69 is a star. I know that feels good to have this, because right now, keeping it real, the Latino community, as far as the music and the rap, all that is booming right now. You got legitimate people like Jenny 69. Got the homie Lefty, everybody loves, you know what I mean? It's just it's a beautiful thing right now.
Chicano Hollywood, Chicano elegance, the movies right now, it's almost like a whole revolution that's going on, and it's really nice to see, because and I'm pretty sure you can relate as well, because it took some time, right? Always the extras, always the background, always the side shows and stuff, and now it's nice to have the big stage, for our people. So it's mad props to everybody out there doing it. Chicano elegance, Chicano Hollywood, everybody out there, N-Dub, Skycast, there's just so many to name. But just shout out to the whole culture, shout out to everybody, doing your thing. I appreciate you.
That's why I told Percy. That's why I told in Dub. Like, I think this is why I think it's big, because you have all the excellence going on, and you have those biggest stars who are the biggest right now at this event. You know what I mean? So it's that's what I meant. It's big. You know, he could change the game.
Yeah.
I think he will. I personally want to see the homegirl.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Who are you looking forward to?
Everyone you said, like Rolls Royce, definitely. You know what I mean? Of course. You know what I mean? I want to see Jenny. I want to see Lefty. Who else? It was someone else, but I want to see, as far as a female. I think people are sleeping on the homegirl, the little Bella. I don't know. You know the
Bella the rapper. Yeah, Bella the rapper.
I fuck with her. You know what I mean? I've been fucking with her for a few years now. I know she hasn't been as much consistent lately, but she's hard though. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to seeing her. She's dope. She's really dope.
Yep. Shout out to her. Shout out to Reverie as well. Like, all of them girls doing their thing. Yeah.
I'll be there too, right?
Yes, doing their thing. You know, because they didn't go the cookie cutter way. You know what I'm saying? They're not going the cookie cutter way. They're staying on their authenticity. They're staying on their originality, and that's what's making them successful. People think because they see girls looking a certain kind of way that you got to look that certain kind of way. You got to sound that certain kind of way to make it. But you're only gonna make it so damn fucking far because that's not really who you are. You're trying to imitate what's already making it out there. These girls are actually authentic. They're themselves. They got something to bring to the table that nobody could take from them because it's theirs. And there's a lot of respect, mad respect for that, to those females out there like that. Right.
That's dope. That's dope. So what do you think you personally like about, I know you come from, I don't know how old you are, you know what I mean? But I'm sure you come from a little history of everything. What do you feel about the culture now? What's going on, like, far as with the youngsters, you know, what they're doing? I see a lot of the youngsters kind of bringing it back and appreciating, you know what I mean, the, you know, the history and all that. But it's a lot of other stuff going on too. So what do you think about, far as the culture where it's at now, with the how the youngsters, you know, what they do?
I mean, I love the youngsters. I think that they do their thing. You know, as long as there's always respect, respect. You know what I mean? Give the props to who you're copying and who you're imitating and who you're trying to replicate. Because at the end of the day, that's what they're doing. You know, they could try to make it their own all they want, but it came from the OGs, which is us.
Right.
You know, so as long as there's respect, you know, they'll get the respect. And, you know, I have no problem with them. I like it. I like how they're able to make a little twist, to turn it into their own, you know?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what's up. That's dope. Now tell us about your other things. What did we talk about? We talked about your cannabis, talked about your promotions, but you do modeling as well. You know what I mean? You know, Miss Westcoast be doing her thing. Tell us about your modeling thing and how you got into that.
Well, I got into that. I got into that through a photographer.
Okay.
He actually started taking pictures of me. Shout out to Dopey CYA Entertainment out there. And he's the one that actually started doing like these little videos of me and stuff. And from there, other photographers saw me and they're like, "Hey, I didn't know you modeled." And I'm like, "I didn't know I modeled either." So, you know, and so that's how it kind of came about. I'm really literally walking God's path. I am, you know, I said, "Jesus, take the wheel." I've been going through a lot of personal things. I know I don't like to put my personal life. I'm very private about what's going on with me. You know, it's all about work that you see on social media. So it's supposed to look like it's a good time, right? If not, anybody wouldn't be looking. But at this moment in time, it's like, you know, I know what I want at the finish line, and how I get there is in God's hands.
That's what I love. I love about you, Miss Westcoast, is your humbleness. You know what I mean? Your love for God too, but your humbleness, like that goes a long way. You know what I mean?
Get you.
A long way. You know what I mean? Real talk. So respect to you for that. I love your insight on everything too. So tell us about some of the stuff you worked on, who you worked with, where they can see some of your work at, as far as your modeling.
Well, as far as my modeling, so you got Saints of the Time. You got Renee the Poet King. You have Photo Rebel. I know I'm gonna miss some people. 99 also. You got geez Louise. I know I'm gonna miss some people. I'm so sorry about who I missed. It's not that you're not important. It's just, you know, you put me on the spot real quick. I should have wrote my list down of everybody. But, you know, just much appreciation to everybody out there. There's also Extreme Shine Control. They do they have a whole auto detailing line that they also hired me to do some modeling work, and you know, that's my latest work as well. I've done some movies, Chola Zombies. Shout out to Loretta. She's awesome, and I believe the rest of that filming is going to be going on in the summer this year. I was a part of Hubbard Street movie as well, and that's Craig Williams, and he was the director for Terminator, and I can't remember what other movie. So, and that's based off of the serial killer in East LA.
Right.
Yeah. So, it's just a lot of different little projects. I want you guys to stay tuned and support, because it's not just me, it's a whole cast, it's a whole team, both in front and behind the screens, So I just, everybody deserves their props, because everybody does a great job,
Right.
Like you and your team, everybody could say, like Kobe, right? We could say, oh, it doesn't take one, there's no I in team, but there's a me, There's a me.
But it definitely takes a team. Shout out to all the great teams out there. Shout out to my team and your team.
Yes.
Let me back up a bit, because I want to ask you this about back to the cannabis thing. So tell me, you're a cannabis connoisseur, like this cannabis, this shit, right? Like, I don't want to say you're an expert, but you know, right? So what is some of the best, like, what's I don't know, I'm gonna say the day or just period, like, what's some of the best of the best?
Some of the best of the best. Man, I honestly, for me, the best of the best was before they started going into this new grow system with the new salts and the shells and the saltiness. Like, for me, I'm old school. I want the molasses. I want the sweet, sticky stuff. Yes, we had to deal with more of the insects and things like that, because they're more, attracted to the stickiness. But I feel like the buds, the flavor, everything was way better that way instead of now, So that for me, I love OGs. They're my favorite. Any kind of OG, Skywalker, Fire OG, Platinum OG. My favorite strain was Blue Dream, which is kind of non-existent now. Yeah, it kind of like just got mothered out. But for me, there was some Platinum Blue Dream that a fireman used to make out in the forest somewhere. And, he used to bring just a couple packs, because that shit was just so mouth-watering. It was just perfect, What about you? What do you like to smoke?
I like OG too. OG is the best. You know what I mean? Whatever
OG
is it. But what would you say to someone who likes to smoke, but or maybe they're new and I don't want to say want to try. We don't want to encourage anyone to, but if they want to smoke, but they don't want to get too high, right? They don't want to get too fucked. Some people can't handle their smoke, right? You know that. So what would you say for that person, but wants some good shit though, that tastes good, all that, but they don't want to get too faded?
You know what I would ask? I would ask the patients, how do you want to feel? Like, how do you want to feel? Because there's some people that sativas that's their go-to. And somebody like me, a sativa is not going to do shit for me. Like, I don't really fuck with sativas. And not to knock anybody that does, that's just not my cup of tea, So I think the most important thing, especially like if you want to try to appease somebody, is to ask them, what are they looking for? Are they looking to feel good? Are they looking for a head high? Are they looking for a body high? If you want a head high, you go for an OG, go for the Skywalkers, go for the Coffin Candy, go for, the originals, go for Dr. Green Thumb and stuff like that. But if you want to feel happy, then you're going to have to go to sativas, go with the exotics more so, things like that. So it's like, it depends. What is it that you're going for? What is it that you need? I had some patients, and they had cancer. And they had seizures. Even their pets would have seizures. So I would give them some of the CBD, the tincture. They would take the medications, and they would feel better. They were able to eat. They were able to get through their day. They were able to control some of the triggers that wasn't able to give them a solid quality of life, due to their diseases and their illnesses. So for me, I actually started smoking because I hurt my back. So my chiropractor recommended it to me. So for me, it was medicinal. And prior to that, I didn't have no life. But, I had a back injury, and it was hard for me to walk around. I had gained a whole bunch of weight because of all the prescription pills, and not knocking anybody that chooses, whatever you choose. But that was it was not for me. And so once the chiropractor, recommended that, I was desperate. I was desperate to feel good. I was desperate to have some type of life. And so I tried it out, and man, it was love at first hit. I didn't feel any pain. I was able to function. And within 30 days, I had lost 30 pounds. I was walking around. I was going out. I was back on heels. And ever since then, so for me, marijuana is everything. and not that I don't enjoy it recreational. I would be a hypocrite to say that now because I do love it, but
Right.
it's both for me, and I respect it on both lanes for everybody, you know. And I wish that everybody would do the same because everybody doesn't think wrong about somebody getting drunk or what are you gonna do this weekend? Oh, I'm gonna get fucked up and I'm gonna get drunk. Yeah, but you know, there's more probabilities of something really going wrong and you hurting somebody else doing that, and that's okay. You know, you can buy a beer, you can buy a keg, you can buy what you know, liquor anywhere, and it's not looked at you know, looked at wrong. But if somebody were to be asked, "What are you gonna do this weekend?" I'm gonna get high. Sometimes you get that little stigma of like, "But what are you gonna do? What's the most damage you could do? Eat the fucking fridge?"
But look, even like tobacco, like cigarettes, that's the biggest fucking seller ever, and that shit, you know what that does to you. You know what I mean? But
Exactly.
that's crazy.
You know, and that's crazy. The hypocrisy on that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's crazy. What do you think about? What's your take on like edibles? Do you fuck with the edibles or no? Are you an edible person? What do you think about those?
For me, blunts all day. Duchess. That's it. It's blunts
Hey,
all day. You know.
hey,
2.5 and more. 2.5 and more needs to be in that baby, you know? But it's blunts all day.
now I'm the same way. Like, I ask you because I don't know. I know that's big now though. A lot of people do edibles, but I was never an edible person. My thing is I just don't know. I don't want to take something and I don't know what it's gonna do to me. Like I'd rather smoke. I know what when I smoke what that's doing. You know what I mean? I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? The edibles,
Yeah.
I just don't like that. You know what I mean?
I could steer you in the right direction for edibles. I know some people that do some really, really good products and they're great. I've tried them and they're really, really good. You know, as long as how you say, as long as you're able to measure that quantity, because sometimes, you know, it might say 500 on the label and it's like really 5,000. So you really have to be careful.
I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? I don't like
No.
control.
Yeah, me too. That's why I really don't drink. I really don't do anything else other than the smoke because I don't like anything that I'm not in control of.
Right. Facts. And going back to the cannabis, like I know we spoke on like OG, like everyone is always seems to be something that's always there. But over the years, I know you've seen like certain strands or certain popular shit that comes and goes. You know what I mean? We've seen it over the years. What do you think about that? And why do you think only certain things always stay there? But like it's a lot of fads with weed, right? Like I know even like say the moon rocks were real popular a few years ago. Then you had other shit, you know, before we had other stuff, you know,
All
but
that snowflake stuff too. Remember the ones that was all with the white powder and all that stuff on there too?
what do you think
Um,
of that?
I think, I mean, they gotta try something different, you know, like it's been in the market for so long, you know. Much love. Thank you so much. It's been in the market for so long that people just want to try to get innovative. It's like fashion, you know. It might come back in the same way, but just people want to try to put their twist on it. And with all the labs that are involved now and all the different high tech things that you can do with it and this chirp spraying and all this new nuance of it, like the doors have opened so that you can have it in a million different forms, and which is good too because not a lot of people like to smoke it, you know, not a lot of people like to eat it, not a lot of people like to put it on their bodies, but the fact that there's so many options.
Can you hear me? Maybe we lost her, or is it me or what? Okay, she froze. Yeah, I'm like, okay, I want to make sure it ain't me. I ain't tripping, right? I think the homegirl froze up. Maybe she'll check back in. Yes, I think she froze. Okay. If you can hear me, Miss, well, yeah, she did it. She went out. I was gonna tell her go out and come back in. Hey man, we're having a great conversation with Miss Westcoast tonight. What up to everyone in the chat? I see Nate Love come up in here. What up, Nate Love? That's my partner in crime. You know what I mean? But we're having a great conversation with Miss Westcoast right now. She's a cannabis expert. You know what I mean? Festival April 27th. That's in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Adelanto, California. Make sure you come out if you can't get tickets. It's gonna be everyone you can think of is gonna be there, including me. He knows her shit, yeah, for sure, Elia. Don't forget tomorrow night, Conversations in the Hookah Lounge is back. DD Hairston, Long Beach, La. Make sure you tune in 7 p.m. Pacific. Yeah, what's going on out there, people? It's Friday night. Friday night, just got paid. It's Friday night, just got paid. Did you get paid tonight? Who got paid? Shout out to Pearl once again for showing love. Thank you, Pearl. Shout out to the Contreras family. Shout out to my producer, DD Hairston. I don't know. He ain't coming back yet. I'm trying to wait on Miss Westcoast to come back in. That's gonna be a good show. The one you're gonna be at, G. Yep, Nays. Yep. You can come out too. Anyone can come out. I can get you some tickets. You know what I mean? Miss 702. What up, though? What up, girl? Shout out to Miss 702. I ain't seen you in a minute. Much love. You and DD. Reconnecting. Okay. It says she's reconnecting. She'll be back in a minute. In a minute. Back. Miss West Coast is back. Are you back?
I'm back. I'm not sure what's going on. The internet's been acting really funny here this whole week, so I'm not sure what's going on. My bad, people.
It's all good. It's all good. We're like, oh, I hope she comes back. But glad you're back. Glad you're back. Miss West Coast, everyone. So we talked about what cannabis and all that. What else do you have going on that we did not speak about?
Just wanted to talk again about a couple events coming up. There's an autism awareness event that's going on, and that's with Old School Functions, and that's with Custom Suite. That's going to be going on in Norwalk on the, oh my good God. I believe that's going to be happening in May, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember the exact date at the moment, but just go ahead and check the stories. I want to bring attention to that. Mad Flavor Fest is going to be going on as well, and that's also on the same day as Nationwide. And that's a cannabis culture event. So I just want to shout out to them and the cannabis, cannabis culture. I got to give them a shout out.
Where is this event going to be? You said it's the same day?
It's the same day.
So you're going to be a busy lady, huh? Where is this event at?
It's in downtown LA.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like is it what time? Because like maybe you could stop there on the way and then go after, because you got to go kind of far to the event where back, right? So maybe you could stop in downtown before you hit the freeway, right? Where is it? And tell them about that. What time does it start?
Mad Flavor Fest is going to start at the same time. I believe it starts at 3 as well. So it's going to be going from 3 to 10 as well as Nationwide's event. So it's a little bit of a competition, but it's different. It's different cultures. You have a whole music genre going on over here, whereas opposed to you have the cannabis culture going on over here downtown.
So how does that work though, Miss West Coast? How does one make both of those work? Because like you have to be at both too. Like how does that work? How does one work that out?
Gee, I've had nights where I've had to make it to 4 different places, and we make it happen. 2, 3 different wardrobe changes in the car. We pull over real quick in the parking lot, we change, and then we're there.
That's right.
Yeah, you just make it happen, man. You make it happen. That car's an office. It's not even a vehicle no more. That's my office right there.
Shout out to Miss West Coast. You a real one, girl. And I respect it. I respect it. So she's saying you make it happen. If you want to make it happen, it'll happen, right?
It'll happen. Absolutely. Because the thing is that you got to support the people that were there to support you. Like you have to do it. And sometimes it be like that sometimes where you have 2 people you got to go out there and support, and it's the same day, especially for what we do in this entertainment business. There's only a certain amount of weekends every month, and right now I'm pretty much booked for the rest of the year. I got a couple little empty spots here and there, but it's pretty much a dead issue, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for that.
Hey, you said that like I'm booked for the rest of the year. I mean, everyone can say that. That's a beautiful thing, man. Shout out to Miss West Coast. You know what I mean? Shout out to God. You know what I mean? God did that. She's booked up.
Yes, he did.
Here. That's what's up.
Yes, he absolutely did. And I'm just so grateful, and I feel like we have to live in that gratitude. We have to be grateful for whatever it is that we got, and life isn't perfect. You know what I mean? I'm going through some court issues that people don't even would never, on the worst nightmare, would want to have to deal with. But you just got to keep pushing on. You got to keep pushing on. And it's the same thing like in life. Whatever the finish line is, just know what it is that you want. Know what it is that you want to accomplish. And the rest of it, leave it to God, because he will open up the path. He will open up the doors. You just got to make sure that you're awake enough to see the opportunities as they're presented to you.
Right. Hey, I was going to ask you, you kind of just answered it, but I want to say, like, even advice, like, how does one stay motivated, stay positive? Like you said, you got a lot of shit people, I'm sure we all do, that people don't have a clue what's going on, but we still have to get up here and make it look good and be positive, and you know what I mean? You don't let them see you sweat, right? But how does one stay motivated, positive, and all that, and drive and all that when you got a lot going on, and and you still, like you said, make it to 4 different events if you have to do what you got to do on the weekends with probably got your weekday shit? Like, how do you stay motive? And I don't know if you're a mother, but you're a female out here, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm a single mom, G. I got 2 kids, an 11 and 12-year-old.
you see, so there you go. So how does one do all that and still be like doing what you do?
Pushing. You have to have a good team. You have to have a good team. Going back to what you asked about what motivates me, gratitude. I think experience of life. I think when you're younger, you want more control. You want things to go your way. You have an attachment of how you want the outcome to be. So whenever it doesn't happen your way, or whenever things go a different matter, you have that disappointment. And as you get older with the experience, it comes the knowledge of not connecting to anything, not thinking that everything is for you, or having that intention of, I'm going to do this because I know this is going to happen. No, you fucking don't. No, we fucking don't, because we don't even know if we're going to wake up tomorrow. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's best to be grateful for whatever it is that you got, whether it be that, I tell my kids every morning, like, we have a prayer, and it's like, show me how good this day can get, whether it be the universe, whether it be God, show me. You have to wake up with the intention to have a good day. You can't just expect it to just be a good day out of nowhere. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have your mind set on what the fuck you want. And if you don't, then that's why you're going to be living in limbo. That's why whatever's going to be happening, you're going to be like a leaf in the wind, just swaying and going with whatever comes and goes, with no sense of direction. For me, it's God. If I didn't have God in my life, I would be lost. God, music, and cannabis, aside from my children, but for me, God, music, cannabis, they've got me through everything in my life. All the difficult times, I can always count on those things to get me through.
Wow.
So you got to be grateful. Be grateful that you open your eyes every day. Be grateful that you're laying in a bed every night. There's a lot of people that don't have that.
Right. Fact. That's a very fact. There's a lot of people don't have it. A lot of people on homeless. A lot of people with locked up. That it's a lot that we got to be thankful for. It's a lot of people sick. Out of work. A lot. So I wake up every morning too and just say a prayer even before I get out of bed. Like, I pray and just thank God. You know what I mean? Like, just you can't thank him enough. And
I challenge everybody. I just do this one thing. I challenge everybody. Do this one thing instead of waking up in the morning and checking your phone right away, because I know that's automatic. I'm even guilty of doing that. Right. Sometimes we check on the phones before we check on the kids and shit. So and I've done it. I'm guilty. But what I'm saying is, I challenge everybody to just, as soon as you open your eyes, just say, I'm grateful. It doesn't have to be to God. It doesn't have to be to anything specific, but just say the words. Because once you utter those words, the vibration you put into the universe is going to come back to you. You're going to feel different if you do that every morning. You just say, thank you for this day, and show me how good it can get. I challenge everybody to do that and see the difference that comes into your life. You're going to feel different. And what you resonate inside, you're going to pull that back into you like a magnet.
Preach, girl. Preach.
And I'm not even smoking, G. I'm not even smoking.
I ain't even seen you blaze up yet. I just thought maybe you were being respectful. I don't know, but I ain't seen
I am being respectful right now because I wasn't sure. I didn't know what the audience was, so I just wanted to make sure we were good, we were Gucci.
We got that out the way first and foremost. She is in the cannabis. She's a cannabis connoisseur. I don't even know the title you use, right? I don't know. What is it?
Cannabis connoisseur. Well, they call me the smoke queen, the Los Angeles smoke queen.
Business, but you're the smoke queen and the connoisseur, but you're in the business too, so you make money off that shit. That's why I was trying to find out the right title, because it's not just a connoisseur. Bigger than that, so that's what I was trying to figure out, but I don't know the words. My vocabulary is off. I smoked earlier too, but
we hustlers, G. We just hustlers, man. We're of many hats, a wearer of many hats, homie.
that part. Hey, but let me see. Keeping it positive for a minute. You know what I mean? What would you tell? What's up, Tiff? What would you tell a young lady that's looking up to you right now, or watching this, or will watch it later, that looks up to you because you said a lot of positive things? I have gained a lot of more respect for you just already, just on top of that, right? In the chat too, everyone's showing you love. So keeping it positive, what would you tell a young lady that's looking at this right now, looking at you like, damn, man, I want to be like her, or I want to do something like that, whether it be modeling, get into business with cannabis, because they're just selling their little ounces right now and they want to get legal, legit, or you know what I mean, or they want to get into promotions. You know what I mean? What would you tell that young lady?
Well, I mean, I would say respectfully, you can't be me. There's only one me. There's only one me, respectfully. But that's the power. That's the power that we all have. There's only one you, G. There's only one her. And you need to use that to the best of your ability. God has given us everything we need to be successful. We already have it in this capsule right here that we, that we walk in every day. Right. So everybody has everything to be successful in them. So just believe in yourself. I feel if you really write things down, I think that's important. It's important if you write things down, sit down, take the moment to slow down and really think about what it is that you want. You can't just be like, oh, that looks like fun, let me try it. Oh, this and that. Because yeah, it does look like fun, but this is a lot of work. It's, you're exposing yourself, you're very vulnerable, you're around a lot of people, a lot of leeches, a lot of people that come in with the wrong intentions to get close to you. As a female, I've had to prove myself, I think, double than what maybe a man would have to, because of the industries, right. Because I'm a female, so you need to be careful. To a lot of the females, I would say, earn your keep. Don't take any shortcuts, whatever that might entail. Do not take any shortcuts. Earn your keep. Don't let somebody come in and say, hey, I can help you out this way for, nothing comes free. So just make sure you do your hard work. Make sure no matter how long it takes, put in the blood, sweat, and tears and the sacrifice, and you will get the reward. You will reap, what it is that you want. So I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying anything like that. But what I am telling you is that it's worth it. Shine your shine. Don't try to be anybody else. Be yourself to the best of your ability. And I think that's how we'll make it. That's how I did. I am Miss West Coast, but in all reality, I'm me, so that's why, what you get right now is what my family gets for the most part, and I put myself on the line. I am 100% of what you see here,
Miss West Coast.
Thank you, G. Don't make me blush, G.
Round of applause for that. I had to. That was you preaching tonight, girl. But check this out. What I was gonna say is what do you damn, I lost my train of thought. You messed me up, girl.
I don't think that's ever happened. I don't think I've ever seen that happen with you.
You messed me up, man. I was gonna say something too, like something important too. Shit.
We're talking about females, to give the advice to the females, right?
Yeah, okay. There we go. Thank you. How is it for you being a female? Like you just said, it's hard, but how do you deal with, because I see you're very humble. It's not like you're humble, respectful, God-fearing, all that, right? But how do you deal, not only being a female, right? Because you get a lot of, when you're trying to do things, and even right now, with someone watching you probably like, F that bitch or whatever, hating and all that, right? How do you deal with being a female and keeping it positive in that state? Because you deal with a lot of, I'm sure you're out, you're modeling, you got a lot of hater females, and then you have to deal with the men who you don't know if their intentions are pure or they're just trying to get at you, right? And you know what I mean? So how do you deal with all of that shit? I'm sure that's hard too, right?
Yeah, it is hard. Like for the haters, it's like this, G. We don't We don't see them.
That's right. That's
We,
right.
we don't see the haters. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
they got to do their job, and if they're hating, it's because
Don't make
we're
it,
doing a good job ourselves. You
you
know
ain't,
what I'm saying? So
don't make it easy for them.
you know, like that's what it is. And you know, and if they're hating now, you know, just grab a seat because get a hold. You know, this is only the beginning.
That's right.
This is only the beginning because I'm not stopping. You know, I feel like you know, the haters are gonna hate. Going back to the people, you know, that they're not on the field. They're not putting in the work. They haven't put in the sacrifice. The haters are looking up to the people that they're talking shit about. So there's no reason for us to look down. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Good
They
answer.
don't phase me. You know, it's just they're doing what they gotta do, and I stay focused doing what I gotta do.
That part. That part. And on the flip side, how do you deal with the other side when you're dealing with all these men, these sharks out here in the industry that you have to deal with every day? Like far as even with business, because you're a businesswoman, even to the modeling when you got to interact and mingle with a lot of these cats, right? And you know, with all of this shit, how do you deal with these men out here that sharks that are wolves in sheep clothing or whatever the case they may be? A game, it's a lot of shit out here.
You know, I'm gonna say something. I don't think it's really touched upon too much. You know, I've had to deal with the ugly side of men, and I'm not gonna put them all in the box because you know, I wouldn't want to get put all in the box with all types of females either. You know, I don't think that's fair.
Right.
But ever since I was young, like I got cursed. I developed early. You know, when I was in elementary school, I got, you know, these big old boobs, you know, and stuff. So I had the male attention, and they were not respectful to the fact that I was a little girl. So I would get a lot of the cat calls and stuff like that as a little girl with my mom, and so I had to learn how to deal with that. How can I say that characteristic of men at an early age? So as I grew older, I was just like a tomboy, and kind of just like, to me, the guys are all just like the guys, you know. So I treat them like that. Now it takes a lot for me to be interested in a man, because for me, you gotta stimulate my mind, and a lot of men put a lot of the materialistic outside because that works for the general population of women. Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, if a man is going to try to floss his pack of money, if a man is trying to floss, you know, everything he's got or everybody he knows and things like that, that's a turnoff, because I already know all of that. With the life that I've lived, I know a lot of guys with money, men with money. I know a lot of men with connections and stuff like that. So that doesn't faze me. You know, that's not the type of woman I am.
Right.
For me, you got to show me that you're a respectful man, that you're a loyal man, how you treat the help and how you treat your, you know, like your business partner. It has to come one and the same, you know, because that's really going to show the type of person you are. So if you can't really stimulate my mind, there's no way you're going to get close to my body, period.
Wow. Heard it right there. That was a good answer. But on the flip side of that, how does one deal with we're all dealing with this stuff too. How does one deal with still now moving forward when may be someone there, but now, like, I'm sure you have a guard up so much, like, and you don't deal with a lot of shit. So how do you know, even when you may have someone there, opposed to like, or you may have let them pass by or fight them off because you don't know? Like, how do you decipher all of that too, right?
I mean,
trying to get your business.
No, you're absolutely no. But you know, it's a valid question. It's a valid question. You can ask me whatever you want. Okay. You know, how do I deal with it? You're right, because it's funny. You know, somebody tried to give me flowers at an event one time, and because my guard was so high, my response to him was like, "What are you doing that for? I can't even smoke those. Don't give me flowers if I can't smoke them."
Right.
You know, and it, like, when looking back on it, that's kind of fucked up. You know what I mean? Because he went out of his way to get flowers for me, but because my guard is so up, he paid for that shit. You know, and so now what I try to do, to be honest with you, G, like, I don't shit where I eat, so I don't fuck around with anybody that I work with in or around the circle. Right. And I truly feel that unless there's like a rainbow and God is saying this is a man, then I'm Gucci right now. You know, I hadn't been single for a long time. I separated from the father of my kids, and I just been focused on the grind and the hustle. And not that if the right man doesn't come in, I won't make time for him. I absolutely would. I believe in love. I'm a hopeless romantic, you know, but it has to be the right one. And it can't be a jealous man. It can't be a controlling man, because I'm not going to stop everything I've worked for, you know,
Right.
to try to feed your ego.
Right.
And that's kind of hard too, because
Hard. That's
you know,
hard.
it is hard, because it's not that I'm a feminist, or it's not like I'm not trying to get controlled. Like I'll be the submissive. I got no problem with that, you know, but it has to be for the right quality man.
You know
Because what I ask for, I provide.
Right, right. You know, I'm glad you said that, because like you said, when you're in this industry and doing this stuff, like especially for a female, I know it's hard to deal with the man. It goes both ways. You probably don't want to deal with the dude in the industry, right? But you want to deal with maybe a regular guy, but this guy probably can't understand or deal with the stuff you deal with. So he has to be a strong-minded man and confident man, and not insecure, right? To know you're working and you're with him because you're with him. Like, I don't want that. I want you. But it's hard, I'm sure, for some men to deal with that. Like, you're out doing your thing, and like, oh, you messing with, like, you're in studios, you're in videos, you're dealing with rich men and you know, all this shit. So it's hard for probably a dude that's not in that industry to understand that. So I know that's hard for you as a female. So I want to ask you that part, and then the second part, I want to ask you, in general and whole, do you still think it is room for love? You know what I mean, these days, because especially if you've been through what you've been through, you know what you know, and you feel how you feel, you're not accepting no bullshit, and you're not even going to deal with it. So do you ever think it's still chance in this general? Because a lot of people deal with this, right? And probably they are. I'm like, I'm good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's so taboo. They're like, I'm good. I love being single and this and this and that, and you know, blah, I'm gonna be a player. No, I think all the players, they were hurt by a girl, you know, or hurt by a guy, whatever. All these players, I think they were really hurt, and they have the guard up, and they prefer not to have any real attachment, so as to avoid getting hurt, really investing their feelings into it, and that's real tough, you know. And I've been there. Do you know? For the guys, oh, my goodness. I just it is really hard. There was somebody I was talking to, and it just got as far as to when he made the comment of like, well, you know, how do you think I'm supposed to feel when you're always around all these guys?
Right, right.
And so it's like, I'm not just around guys. And so at that point, that was a red flag for me, because I know that he can't handle it.
You're ready.
You know what I mean? He can't handle it.
Right.
He can't handle it, because at the end of the day, for me, everybody that I work with, I have their respect, and I respect them because they know that I'm not that type of female. You know what I mean? I've earned my respect in all industries that I touch. Right. And so the man would have to be super confident. And you're right, it is hard, because I'm not going to be really, you know, I can't really say I'm not going to be with anybody, because only God knows who I'm going to be with. But I do my best not to try to involve myself with anybody at work, you know, because of that same reason. And then somebody in the regular 9 to 5, they won't get it. It won't be the same hours. It won't be the same life. They're going to have that mentality of like, why are you around all these guys? So it does have to be somebody super secure and confident, you know, and know that if I'm with you, if I'm giving you my attention, nobody else is going to have the attention but you. It doesn't matter what the picture shows. It doesn't matter anything. You're going to have to trust me, you know?
I think that's a best. I'm glad you said that, and that's why I asked that, because I think that's a big thing guys have to understand. Like, if you're a female, especially someone or whatever stature or status they're at, if they're with you, you have to understand she's with you for you. Like, cause she don't have to be with you. Like, you know what I mean? So she likes you for you, and some men don't understand that fully. Like, you know what I mean? So you have to be.
And even females, and even some females is the same thing, you know, because I'm pretty sure for you it's the same thing. I'm not really sure what your situation is, if you're single or if you're seeing somebody, but I'm pretty sure you have to go through it as well, where, you know, the females and the guys, you know, there's that insecurity of the opposite sex being around you.
Right.
But you have to like, you know, the experience, how we were touching bases, right? Of like the experiences of how you have to set the boundaries and how that the guard is up. Right. But I think it's good, because if the guard is up, then that means that the higher quality of men or woman is going to climb up higher. There's going to be less of that higher quality up there. Right. Do you know what I'm saying? That's going to want to make the effort to go over your wall. Right. So the actual person that goes up that wall, however high it is, and makes the effort to go over it, that's a winner right there.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? To have the patience to deal with somebody's past traumas, And not that it's anybody's fault, because we do put a lot of our past traumas onto somebody, that baggage, this
Yes.
person cheated on me, this
Yes.
woman, all beautiful women. I just heard it the other day. All beautiful women are evil, cheating bitches, and they're all just materialistic. Wow. And you're talking to another female like that, like, like,
I,
it doesn't help the situation if you're bad mouthing the opposite sex.
right. Do you think I'm glad you said that too, because and DD, I think DD said it earlier, hurt people hurt people. Do you think it's too like people need sometimes to work on themselves and know what they really want and learn how to love themselves first? Because sometimes people get in situations and they're probably not fully healed from the other situation or whatever, and then they get into this situation and it carries on over to that relationship, whether they know it or not. You know what I mean? And that's both parties.
Yeah.
And then sometimes women or females, or dudes have to know what they want. Because, sometimes people, like even, a lot of females is popular. They want this type of dude and all this, but this may be the dude that ain't good for you. So sometimes people have to learn themselves, right? And know what they want and know how to love themselves first.
You have to, how they say, be careful what you wish for. So let's talk about just general, right? Let's say a rich man.
Right.
A rich man, a prestigious man, what do they usually want? For lack of a better word, they want like a trophy wife or something that looks like a trophy wife, right? Can we agree?
Yes, facts.
Okay. So if he wants that type, so if this man is wanting this type of woman, what baggage comes with it? Do you know what I'm saying? She's usually going to be younger than him, so her mentality is not going to be the same. They're going to have a lot less things to relate about. Do you know what I'm so know what you're getting yourself into. If you're going to want this beautiful trophy young wife, know that you're going to have to work extra hard, or know that it's just going to be something very superficial, very lustful, and if that works, then good, because I've seen a lot of time that works. Now, same thing for a female. I hear a lot of females, I got friends that they'll say, I want a rich man. I want a big baller. I want this man that has, successful businessman. Well, successful businessmen don't work 9 to 5.
Right.
Successful businessmen don't have regular business hours. Work is number one for them, and men are built a little bit different, where their logic is more like, things need to be on a responsible level for them to be able to focus on anything else.
Right.
It's almost like a filing cabinet.
Right.
With men, I feel like you open up one drawer, you can get one file and focus on that one file, and that's it. Whereas females, we can open up 3-4 drawers on the file cabinet, have 10,000 files out, and we still know what the fuck's going on in every single one of them. So it's like, different worlds, different operations. So know what it is that you're asking for, and know that it comes with a package. Not everything is perfect. Those rich men, those successful men, they work long hours. Their focus is their business. That's why they are so successful. And for women, for rich men that they want a beautiful woman, well, know that it comes with them getting a lot of attention. And that's not their fault. That's just what comes with having a beautiful woman at your side. So have the confidence to know that if she's with you, it's because she wants to be.
Hey, let me see. Gas Mask said, I'm just reading a couple comments because it's kind of interesting.
I can't see them.
The main reason men get with younger women is because of the biological standpoint. The older women, the more damaging it is to the baby, I guess he said, if they choose to have one.
Yeah, but listen to what he's saying. That means that he's already an older man looking for a younger woman to have babies with. So, you ran amok. You ran amok, and now you want to settle down with with a young buck.
Yeah. Oh man, hold up. Gas mask. Damn. But that comes. But I think I understand what he's saying, because that's what a lot of, like you were saying earlier, rich men, people with whatever that's what they're gonna go for. And then nowadays, right? I think things are so crazy. It goes both ways, because you'll see, like I just seen last week. I don't know, this young girl, 21, was with a 61-year-old dude. It's like everyone is all about the status now, or the money, So even women, like if you got them, like women will not all, but some women will just do whatever, you know what I mean? And for if the dude got money or status, you know what I mean? Like it's crazy.
Yeah, because they think that they're gonna be the Cinderella. They think that they're gonna be a Cinderella. This rich man's gonna come and change your life. You're gonna be pretty woman. He's gonna come get you out the gutter. Like that's not the times we're living in. And I'm not saying that's not gonna happen or that hasn't happened or that not can't happen, but that's not really the reality of the times we're living anymore.
Right.
Everybody's really scared. People are living like this with no real connection because they're really scared because there hasn't been any healing. You touched bases on that a little while ago, and absolutely, people need to do the healing. People need to take the time to understand what those triggers are. When somebody talks, like for me, if somebody tries, if a male tries to talk bad to me in a like a domineering way, and I'm not saying like I don't like to take orders or take you say what do you say? Uh,
Direction.
Yeah, like I take direction. Yes, that I don't have any problem with that. But it's just the tone. If somebody's trying to talk to me down or try to tell me something like if like I'm supposed to because I'm a female, that's a
Right.
trigger for me. Because my ex, he would treat me in that manner. So for me, automatically that's like a trigger.
Right.
So people need to understand that those triggers of what sets you off, if it's a conversation, if it's something how somebody treats you, if it's something that you see, you got to examine what that trigger is because to the root of it, that's your healing.
Right. That's a fact. Too though, I think we're in these times, right, where I don't know, like even we were speaking about love, but I think it's even bigger. Like people are so detached from feelings and real love and real like care and respect. Like a lot of those things aren't what they used to be. So it's really crazy out here right now. Like, you know what I mean? Even trying to get in a relate, like you don't know who people are, like, you know what I mean? Not all, but some, especially like the younger ladies, you know what I mean, meeting people and they don't know, you know what I mean, like you even said someone can seem to be perfect and then
Yeah.
the next day they could flip and be a total different person. Like it's crazy out here, and you know what I mean, we're living in some different times right now. It's like almost
Yeah,
like
we're living in times of fear, and you asked if I still believe in love. I think that was one of your other questions, like one of the parts of it, right? And I have to say, I absolutely do believe in love. I believe in love. I believe in loyalty. I believe in respect. I believe in traditional, ways of, the man opening the door, the lady taking care of her man. Like I love all that stuff. Everything and everybody in their place. I'm real old fashioned like that, and I do believe that it's out there because I'm out here. So, there is nothing in this world that doesn't exist without its partner. Every yin to yang, every light to dark. So there has to be somebody for me, just like there's somebody for you, just like there's somebody for everybody else. It's timing, and so if you're not in the right place to be able to welcome that person, why would you be asking for them if you're not ready yet? What are you going to do with that person who were to come and you're not ready
right,
and you're not healed? You know
right,
what I mean?
facts.
It's some deep shit, G. It's some deep shit, but there is love. There is love out there. There is love here because
I,
we are loved.
right,
Just people
right.
are just scared.
They're scared, and then too, like I don't know if people know how, like, say, even like young men, um, like how does one? Because like a dude now, I don't think people are being taught properly how to love, how to be a gentleman, because now it's hard to be a gentleman like dude without being corny, right? Right. No one wants to be corny. Even the females like a clown you. So like even how does a dude try to be a gentleman and like you say, court a lady and treat her like a lady, get her some flour or whatever the case without being corny? Like, you know what I mean? They're gonna be called corny. Even some females will call dudes corny.
Man, there's some females out there really fucking it up for all of us. There
Saying?
really are some females out there fucking up for all of us. Like this happened a couple months ago, and I'm going to Baskin Robbins. I'm gonna get me a banana split, right? And as I'm
Right,
walking in, there's a man going first. There's another female coming in like from the other angle, and I'm walking straight, right? To
right,
same. All of us are going to the same Baskin Robbins. So the gentleman opens the door, and before the girl would walk into the door frame, she goes, "I can get my own door." And so I was like, "Well, get your own." Like I kind of rushed. I go, "Well, get your own door." And I kind of rushed in front of her, and I was like, "Thank you so much. Chivalry will never die." I told him, and I walked in. Like, fuck you, bitch. What the fuck is your problem? Like you're gonna fuck it up for all of us because we do like our doors open. So for the men that are still chivalrous out there, for the gentlemen that are still out there, like just don't stop. I'm sorry for the bitches that don't know how to appreciate that about you, but there's still some of us that do. So please don't stop. You know, that's what keeps the world going round is even though there's so it seems like there's so much ugly, and I feel like it's part of the agenda. It's part of the fear to, instill in us to be thinking that the world is so ugly, to be thinking that there's so much lack.
Right.
We're surrounded with water. There's money being printed. There's no lack in this world of nothing. This is God's earth. This is God's, masterpiece here. There's no lack. The only lack that we have is in our minds, what we put on ourselves. That's the only lack there is.
Right.
And so don't be scared to go out there. Don't be scared to get hurt. Yeah, it's scary, but just learn from your previous experiences. Put the boundaries up. As soon as you see the red flag, don't ignore it because the sex is good or because he's good looking or because she's good looking or because the money's good. Like, really pay attention to the red flags and put some value to yourself, some respect,
Wow.
I mean, that's all I can say. You will find love if you just stick to your list. Again, going back to the writing, the perfect woman for me would be X, Y, and Z. And don't sway from that. Stick to what your list is, because then here comes this beautiful woman and she has 1 and 2, but she doesn't have 3, but 1 and 2 look really fucking good. You know what I mean? So you're missing 3. Eventually it won't work because that 3 is going to matter since you wrote it down.
Wow. Preach, girl. Preach. That, right? Because that's another thing I meant to ask you earlier, and I think even Elliot spoke on it. Writing things down, like planning. I know we're back off topic, but I remember you said that, and I want to touch on that. I was one that wants to do more of that, and I don't do it. But speak about how important that is, like writing things down, your plan or whatever it is, so you can have a view of it and see what you want to do, opposed to keeping it in your head and you may get sidetracked or whatever. Like, tell the importance of writing things down.
I feel it's super important because it's also like it's a part of manifesting. It's a part of manifesting. It's a part of bringing stuff that's in your head. Everything that we touch and look at was once an idea, and whatever isn't God's creation. Animals, trees, nature, things like that. But everything else on this earth was once an idea. Think about this. Was once an idea in somebody's mind.
Right.
The phones, the lights, the studio, your mic, how to do your braids, your glasses, our hat, my hair, my hoops, everything was an idea in somebody's head that they brought to fruition, that they probably had a whole bunch of people like them. You're fucking crazy. Imagine the first wheels, right? That we see how the Flintstones, they used to move the cars, with their feet and shit. Like, imagine all of that. How many times people got laughed at and thought that they were crazy. No. Like, if you write stuff down, I believe it makes the manifestation, it makes the creation more credible, more real. You'll get to it faster because you're more focused. It's there. So it's not just an ideal in your head. You actually wrote it down. Okay, so now you see it. So now you can't deny it. You can't sway away from it because you wrote it down. So even if you want to, mind, what is it? Out of sight, out of mind. You're going to come across that idea one more time again, and you're going to say, oh shit, I wrote that down. I had that in my mind. Is this the time for me to accomplish this? Is this the time for me to put this in motion? And if to you it's resonating that yes, what is it going to take to accomplish A? What is it going to take what is it going to take to accomplish 1? A, B, C is going to take to accomplish 1. So let's start with A. People want to get too overwhelmed with all of everything that needs to get done, and you don't have to focus on everything in the middle. Focus on your idea at the end, and you'll get there. God will get you there.
Wow, that's great, because I'm have to admit I'm a victim of that. Like you said, I don't write things down like I need to, and I have a lot of stuff I want to do. Like you said, it's probably when you should focus more, on one or two things instead of trying to do it all at once, trying to make it all happen, and you're not getting the results. I've been a victim of that, and that's been going on with me. So that you're speaking to me right now. So I appreciate that.
And it's a learning process for me as well. I try to, just how there's so much like fluff, how there's so much fluff on YouTube and social media and on the internet. There's a lot of knowledge on there too, and it's what you pick and choose to what you want to spend your time on. And I got blessed that somebody sent me this video, and from how it is with the algorithm. Once you get something for one video and you spend time on it, more similar stuff comes up, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And so that's where I started getting all this stuff about manifestation, about how millionaires accomplish their goals. and they will write the stuff down, what it is that they have to accomplish, and then what it takes to accomplish that goal, and they'll go one at a time. They're not overwhelming themselves on, oh my God, I got to finish this house today. No, I have to finish this house. So let's start with the foundation, and we'll get as far as the sun will let us. And then tomorrow we'll do this. And that's what it is. You just check off a box. Rome wasn't built in a day, and that's okay. Just check off a box. And, today you're closer than you were yesterday. And tomorrow you'll be closer than you were the day before. Don't be impatient with yourself. Give yourself the grace,
Right. What do you suggest? Like, one writes down on like a journal, a tablet, a board, something in your room. Like, what would you suggest?
Mira, I have my notebook. So this is my notebook, and it's funny because I'm gonna let you into my brain, right?
Okay.
So I was working on money manifestations. Okay. So this is my notes. So it's just all of a sudden, just whatever comes to me. So it'll come to me, and I'll start writing down a whole bunch of things, and you're gonna see it's all scribble. But this was 2 nights ago.
Okay.
And so I am a money magnet. Money flows to me easily and abundantly. Whenever I spend money, it comes back to me tenfold. I am so lucky. Everything works out for me. I am radiating the frequencies of love and wealth and health, prosperity. So you're putting all these positive things, and it might seem like it's just like I'm crazy, like it's nonsense. But what you're putting out there, people don't understand that even if you're talking bad about yourself, the universe doesn't know the difference. The universe doesn't know the difference of a fear or a wish or a want. So if the universe is hearing you say, I'm a dumbass, guess what your experience on this earth is going to be? So if you're starting to say, like, I am abundant, the world is good to me, I walk into the place, I'm at the right place at the right time. Wherever I go in there like if God sent me there. I go with the confidence that God sent me there because there's a purpose I was there, whether it be for me or whether it be for somebody else. There's a reason where we are. There's a reason we meet the people that we meet, whether it be for a little bit or a long time. And the most important thing that I feel that we need to keep in mind when we do meet people is how you make them feel. Because once you're gone, that's the only thing anybody's going to remember about you is how you made them feel while you were here.
Girl, Jesus. Hey, she's preaching tonight, Miss Westcoast. Hey, real talk, man. Like, really, 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 really. I'm learning, you know what I mean? I'm taking notes, and a couple things you said are going to stick with me because a couple things you spoke to me personally, especially with the writing things down. I've heard that before numerous times, you know what I mean? And successful people, like, I've heard they do that, and they've said that. And that's something I don't do. But again, I suffer from that same thing, always doing too much and not getting the results I need because I'm probably trying to do too much. You know what I mean? So I received that, Thank you.
Amen.
Yes, Miss Westcoast, y'all. Hey, I mean, I don't want to hold you too much longer. I'm
all yours, G. I'm all yours for the night. It's already 11 o'clock, so I'm not going nowhere no more.
Okay. So I know we spoke on a lot of things you have going on. You spoke on what we have coming up. We got the events. We got the autism event coming up. When is that again? I heard N-Dub, someone speak on that. I think it was N-Dub. Tell us about that.
Autism. It was the Autism Awareness with Old School Functions. We have nationwide event. Back in the day, we have Mad Flavor Fest going on. Let me see. I want you guys to be on the lookout for Hubbard Street, the movie, Chola Zombies, the movie. Let me see. What else? I'm going to try to touch everything right now real quick. Try to get all the shout outs out there. Shout out to Polly's Projects, helping out the community. He goes and he feeds the homeless and things like that. Skid Row. Shout out to Humanity Heroes. They're out there also doing the grind. Shout out to Local Hearts Foundation, always giving back. Back to school stuff, turkeys to the families, Easter baskets. Like, there's so many people giving back. I want to ask everybody, if you got a little bit of time, try to find a way to to give back. That's really, really important. Like, think about that. We dreamed, we wished that we were where we're at this point. No matter how much or how little we got, we wanted to be here at some point of our lives, and we're here. And so even if it's $1, even if it's a post, a share, a like, support the people that are out there doing the humanitarian work. That's important.
Right. Facts. So you know everything where she's gonna be at. I think we put all the links in the chat and all that. What else was I gonna ask you? Going back to the females. Look, just another thing I want to speak on with the females. I think a lot of the, like, even females, we know how these dudes are. You know what I mean? Especially the youngsters, but the females now are becoming too, like, we're speaking about love. I don't know if even females know what real love is, or to be feel love, or they've been through so much hurt or pain that it's hard for them to love. And now, like you said, we all want love, but how do we get love back? I think she froze up again. Dang it. Okay, I just want to ask her that. And this is to the ladies in the chat. How do we get real love back? 2024. Love, it seems like love is lost. How do we get real love back, people? This goes out to the men and the women. Is there a chance for real love again? Can we have real love? Real love. I don't know. Everyone wants to be loved. Let me know, people in the chat. Thank you. You this. Okay. Leotis, what up? You this C. They love Tiff Roots. Who else was out there? Shout out to the homie Gas Mask. The homie JoJo AZ. Jessica. Excuse me. Who else out there? I don't know. Everyone out there, much love and respect. Okay, there's Miss Westcoast. She's back.
There we go.
Okay, we got it.
Oh my God, I'm so Mercury. It has to be the Mercury retrograde. I'm not really sure. My bad, people. Appreciate your patience. I apologize.
Oh, good. But the crazy thing, I was just talking and you weren't even hearing me. You were froze. I didn't even know it. You know what I mean?
I was frozen. Jesus. I hope it was at least a good angle.
Nah, you were good because I thought you were there. I thought you were just listening, right? You were being real quiet. And I'm like, hold up. She's too quiet. But I was going to ask with the ladies again before we ended. I know we talked about love again and what we believe love is, and you know we want love and all that. But speaking from the females, like it seems like the females these days are real. Like the females are like more harder than the dudes now, as far as their feelings and how they move and how they get down. Like females don't give a F right now, and they real like what's the word I'm looking for? Like they masculine almost, like for real.
They're real masculine. You know, I feel like that. I know I might, and people might not agree with me, and I don't mean to interrupt you. I apologize.
Go ahead.
But I truly feel like it's part of the agenda, G. I feel like it's part of the agenda. You know, same way as breaking down the families, having, you know, nobody at home to raise the children, but, you know, strangers. That's a breakdown of the family right there for us. And this goes way back. Gee, I mean, I know there's going to probably be some feminists right there are not going to agree with me, but like it goes back to the times when they started having women working. Before it was the men that were working, and people think that it was like a female revolution, you know, to like have women work and equal rights. Fuck all of that. I would have been happy at home taking care of my man and my kids. You know what I'm saying? Cooking and cleaning. But they said, okay, you know, equal rights. And what did that mean? Equal rights equal taxing to everybody. So as opposed to them, the government taxing 50% of the population, they were able to tax 100% of the population. And, you know, females fell for it. I truly feel that was the agenda. So now you got both people working out of the home. Who's raising the children? You know, so there's a breakdown of that. So now you have all this stuff of what's going on. And I respect everybody's choice. But there's no reason that sexuality should be any type of class or be an instruction at school. There's no place for having that type of, you know, sexuality at school. There should be no reason that children should be picking and choosing if they want to be a boy or girl at school. That shit that should be handled at home.
Right.
You know, the government should have no right into all of that. So that's where all these lines are getting blurred, where it's like the men are like getting in that gray area of what it really is to be a man, and so is the females. It's all getting blurred. But, you know, you got to stick to what the facts are of what you are. Like, you can call yourself whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. And you're going to, you know, you'll have my respect. But don't shove your ways down our throat. Don't make that our, you know, original institution like there's something wrong to it. It's not, you know. And because we choose to live this way, that doesn't mean that we're disrespecting you. And you shouldn't disrespect us either. You know, sexuality should stay at home. It has no place at school. They put the wrong man in there. They took out God and they put on, you know, all this other stuff. It's weird.
If that's a fact too, they taking God out of everything. God is the main thing we need, because I think that's why we're at where we're at right now. You know what I mean? It's crazy. But again,
Yes,
of course,
you
anyone
know, and
they want, but I just think purposely taking God out of things as making it worse. And it's just bad right now. You know what I mean? All the way around, and then like you said, young men and women don't know who they are. They're confused. They get bad examples. We got everything on TV that you can't even watch TV without it showing some stuff that's uncomfortable. You know what I mean? So it's like the music, everything is crazy, and the I just think
Mhm.
that's cool, right? But the kids are confused. I think the kids consume too much information. When we were kids, it was levels to everything. We still were kid bad. We did what we did, but it was still levels to everything. Now it's like everything is on the same playing field for a kid, and the kid can't consume all of that stuff properly. So you have kids that are confused now, doing things they don't know.
And without direction, G, the kids are out there without direction. What do a lot of parents do nowadays? They give them the electronics, and the electronics the new babysitter.
Yes, they let them.
Like,
Let
get
'em
on my hair.
yeah,
Get on my hair. There you go. I can do what I want. No, if you're a parent, your job is to raise your child, play with them, do what you got to do, spend the time with them. Because it doesn't matter the quantity of time. It matters the quality of time you're spending with these children, because tomorrow we're gonna be in their hands.
right,
You know what I mean? Like, people don't get this. Like, our children are everything right now. That is our future. And so if we want to know about love and everything, we have to be the example of that. I do believe in love, and it is scary to see all these the agenda getting pushed on. You know how I told you about that female. She's like, I don't need you to open my door. Like,
right.
what the hell? I kind I shimmied in front of her ass. Like, I do. Thank you so much. Like, I want that. I want to be treated like a lady. I am a lady, and I deserve to be treated like a lady. Just like if there's a gentleman out there, he deserves to be treated like a king, just the same. And that's where things are getting lost nowadays. We got to stick back to traditional ways. We got to go back to basics. A man in his place and a woman in hers. I
That
truly
part.
believe that.
That part. And going back to like with the youngsters, like I think too, like you said, no direction, and it's hard because even I think that's what happened to it. A lot of youngsters, it was a big gap between older homies, younger homies, females, older, like no direction. People don't want to deal. A lot of times they say, I don't even want to deal with the youngsters. They're too out of control, disrespectful, and all that. But like you said, these are our kids, and we don't want to deal with them now. We're gonna have to deal with them later, and it may be later when you don't want to. They're coming in a bad way. You know what I mean? And these are the same kids that we didn't pay attention to or try to show anything to. So that's a big part of it too. You know what I mean? So you got to
And
deal
there's a
with.
lot of ignorance in that. There's a lot of ignorance in that from both generations, from
Yeah,
the older generation to think that they don't have nothing to learn from the younger generation, and for the vice versa, for the younger generation to think that they don't have anything to learn from the OGs or from the older generation. Both have a lot to learn from each other. Do you know
right,
what I mean? It
right.
might not be everything. Everything might not work, obviously, because it's different times. But there's definitely a lot of stuff that we can learn from each other to make us a better people as a whole. Doesn't matter the age, but just the whole purpose as to what we're going for, what we're striving for, which at the end of the day, we all want peace, we all want love, and we all want to be successful.
Facts. She said it all right there. We need to figure that out. You know what I mean? We need to figure that out because we all can learn from each other. You know what I mean? I think the OGs have a lot they can show to these youngsters who think they know it all, especially when it comes to the streets and all this, or whatever knowledge they're lacking. And the older people can learn from the youngsters because they run the youngsters control. That's how we learn all this technology and all this shit going on right now. These youngsters did that. We didn't know this shit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So
no.
we all learn from each other.
So respect, respect is everything. Respect is everything, G. And it goes so far. You know what I mean? It goes so far. You never know who's gonna be who tomorrow.
Right.
So you just be respectful. If you don't fuck with somebody, don't fuck with them. But don't fuck with them. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Facts.
Yeah. Yeah, G, like, they're the women, like, man, it's different times, because the women, it's almost like they want to be acting very masculine, but there's like a confusion there. You don't have to act like a man to be strong. You don't
Man,
have to act like a man to get respect. You don't.
these women
Because
are tough, man. They're like
as a lady, yeah, it's really weird. And as a lady, it's our vulnerability, it's our softness. You know what I mean? That's what is our strength. So, it's not being like a man, it's being a lady that is our strength.
But to credit, I don't want to go so bad. I'm glad we're speaking on this because I see it like with these younger ladies now. They're just like damn, like they don't know how to be ladies anymore. Like they're harder than to do. But to their credit, I know a lot of it's happened this way because a lot of women have been hurt. I understand. A lot of women have been hurt, and they're like, "Fuck that," you know what I mean? Like, won't do want, right? But I just still think you still have to learn how to be a lady, though, man. Don't
Yeah.
go too hard. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't
And
know.
it's not anybody's no, and it's not anybody else's fault. Like, I feel like you have to assume responsibility.
Right.
This, again, people want to generalize, all men are dogs, all men are cheaters, all women this and this and that. No, assume responsibility for the woman that you chose, assume responsibility for the man that you chose,
Right.
because you chose them. Like, I'm not going to go around talking shit about the father of my kids, because he isn't the best type of man, but I chose him.
Right.
So I have to assume responsibility that whatever it is, that whatever made me see something in him that really wasn't there, I need to heal from before I go on to the next one. Because it's not anybody else's fault, anything that happened in the past. It's like, if you're having a bad day, how the hell are you going to go out there with that bad vibe through the whole day and have a horrible day because you had a bad moment? It's almost like that, and it's the same thing. In the past, we've been hurt. In the past, we've made bad choices. Assume responsibility for what you did. Learn, heal, and move forward, with the best hopes, and if you get hurt, you get hurt. That's part of the playing again,
Yeah.
But
Like,
if you don't play, you don't win.
right. That's real talk. That's what I think my dad used to always say. He be playing the lottery, all that. I'll be like, nah. He said, if you don't play, you can't win. If you don't play, So you got. I think just the moral of that is you got to take a chance. Sometimes you have to take chances. That's how you get results. And sometimes maybe gambles or whatever. But that's what they always say. Scare money don't win money. You know what I mean? And you can't. You don't play. So you have to take chances. But choose your chances wisely. That's all.
And give yourself the chance to really, really resonate that you're worthy of a great love.
Right.
Because sometimes you feel that, oh no, because of this, because of that, no, we're all worthy of a great love. Once we make that checklist and we stick to it, then we're going to get what we want.
I know your value. Have your value, and don't let it depreciate for anyone.
No. You can't have wiggle room on your values. You can't have wiggle room on your morals. On that moral compass, you can't have wiggle room there. It is what it is.
Right. Facts. Man, this has been incredible, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Westcoast, hey, I was not expecting. I don't know. I just thought we were gonna talk some. I don't know, but this turned out to be. I really enjoyed this. I don't want to call it an interview, conversation. You know what I mean? I really enjoyed this. Like, I learned a lot. Got understanding, and I think we I don't know. We talked about a lot of things that people needed to hear, and I think they appreciated it. You know what I mean? We talked some real talk. People say real talk, but we talked some real talk tonight. Like Miss Westcoast was really preached tonight, like a sermon, man, low key.
Thank you, G. It's been an honor this whole time. I mean, I love talking with you, and I love this time right here with you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And everybody that tapped in. I wasn't able to see all the comments and stuff, but I'll be able to go back, right? I'll be able to go back and see everything.
Look at go, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Mr. Thumper said, "I'm in love." Wow, you got out there. What up, Thumps? He said, "I'm in love. She's the best." But we had love from all the females too. We had a lot of females showed you love. Like, you had love tonight, Miss Westcoast. You know what I mean? Yeah, love. So before we go again, we have all the links, but tell them again where they can follow you, where they can get at you, or they can see you coming up right here.
You can catch me at Miss Westcoast. I have at Miss Westcoast _ and at Miss Westcoast _. So one's a private, one's the professional page, and we'll see which one you apply to. Maybe you'll apply to both, but just go ahead and follow me. I'm on TikTok, same thing, same handle on everything, all the way across. You're gonna catch the movies, Hubbard Street. You're gonna catch Chola Zombies. I'm working on another one right now, but I can't say too much about it because it hasn't even started yet. But it's an honor. It's awesome. I'm looking forward to the new work right there. I also want to give a shout out to South Bay Pop-Ups. That's going to be, it's in the summer. It's going to be in July 14th, and that's going to be Viclas and Ramplas. And that's going back to the lowrider culture, old school, oldies, things like that. You know, make sure you guys go out there and support Urban Con as well. That's another event that's going on for the culture. Autism awareness that's going to be going on. That's old school functions, and everything is on my stories. Everything's on my stories or on my page. I'll be posting it up. So just make sure you guys follow that, help out everybody, and just be kind. Be kind, and especially to yourself, be good.
That part. Hey, hold on. One more thing. I know it was something I was missing. We were supposed to get back to it and we never did. Talk about your podcast. You said you have a podcast. Talk about that.
Oh. Yeah. Yes, I have a podcast. It's West Coast Wednesdays IG Live Sit and Sesh. You don't have to smoke. I usually do, but it's just a platform to try to bring your, whatever it is, your craft to the platform. So if you guys are interested, it's every Wednesday. It's either at 10 a.m. or 7 p.m. I could schedule you, and we talk for as long as the guest is comfortable. Sometimes it's been half an hour, other times it's been an hour, 2 hours. So it just depends how the flow goes. It's pretty organic. I don't have any demands other than just to be real and just bring on whatever it is that you want to show, that's all. So I really do. I really love people, G. Like I love people. I love being around people. I love being with people, good people.
Right.
Good people, G.
Yes.
And hustlers. Yeah. I love hustlers. I love ambitious people. I love people that are hungry for passion, hungry for good things, hungry to help. And so if you're anything like that, welcome to the family.
That part. It's West Coast, everyone.
Get up and take a bow.
Hey,
muchas gracias, G.
That's the same, man. Beautiful, incredible conversation. Thank you so much for everything tonight. She said follow her, check her out, IG, all that shit, and her events. I'm going to see you at the Back in the Day event coming up, so we'll get to chop it up. And I think that's it. Anything else?
Go check out my music video on YouTube, On My Mind, and that's Hellified Records, Seven's music. I come out in the video, so please, go ahead and check that out. Run those numbers up, and just, make sure you guys follow each other. Make sure you guys tap in with G again, every week. I'm sure I know I am. And just support each other. Just support each other and be good to each other, man. Make sure you guys go out there and smoke one too.
That part. That's the link for a video right there. So tap that link, check her out, follow her channel, her page, all that right there. And yeah.
Thank you, DD.
Yeah, shout out to DD. Made it happen. And I think that's it. Once again, Miss West Coast, everyone. And thank you.
Gracias.
Yeah, same. And also check us out on Sundays if you're not doing anything Sunday nights. But right here, same time, we got Oldies Rule Forever. We bang out all oldies and we take all that. So we have a great time here. So if you're not doing anything Sunday nights, check in with us. But that's it. Thank you, Miss Coast. Everyone.
Muchas gracias, my G. I really, really appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. And everybody that tapped in, Tiff, I saw your comment right there at the end. So thank you to everybody that commented, everybody that interacted. That means a lot to all of us. That's everything.
That part. Miss West Coast, y'all.
A minute, but you're constantly up on my mind. And now I'm posted in the front about to hit your line. Hoping you pick up so we can chop it up. The way you all went down was kind of fucked up. You could have came to me and told me what was up, but you chose to live in silence till we broke it up. And now I'm in the cold wishing you was up, so I can hear your voice, my love.
Thinking about you all the time. Can't seem to get you up out my mind. Hoping you well and you're doing fine. Maybe we can get together, spend some time.
Yep. That's it, y'all. Thank you again, Miss West Coast. Don't forget tomorrow night, DD Hairston, Conversation in the Hookah Lounge with Long Beach, 7 p.m. Pacific. And Sunday night, we will be back for Oldies Rule Forever, 9:30 p.m. Pacific. We're taking requests, live requests. We're going to have a great time, so make sure you tune in, all right? Peace and love, everyone. Have a great weekend.